I want to speak to John Rentoul in a second. He's the chief political commentator of The Independent. Just before I do, let's just remind ourselves what the Speaker Lindsay Hoyle said. A very strange statement to Parliament after Peter Mandelson arrested. Peter Mandelson wondered, why on earth am I being arrested? Do I have an appointment to go and see the police in a few weeks' time? Then he was arrested, apparently on the word of the Speaker Lindsay Hoyle, who received a tip that Peter Mandelson might be about to flee the country. That's something Mr Mandelson denies. He also denies all of the wrongdoing that he is accused of. Let's hear from Lindsay Hoyle and what he told Parliament this afternoon, or very late this morning, I should say.
Members will be aware of comments in the media regarding the arrest of Lord Mandelson. To prevent any inaccurate speculation, I'd like to confirm that upon receipt of information that I felt it was relevant, I passed this on to the Metropolitan Police in good faith, as is my duty and responsibility. It is regrettable this rapidly ended in the media, as this is a live investigation. Members will understand that it would not be appropriate to make any further comment, and I'd like to caution members from doing so.
The Speaker, Sir Lindsay Hoyle, earlier in the House of Commons today. I was around Westminster and jaws dropped. Let me tell you, I had a few meetings in and around Westminster, and my goodness, there were people who were really, really shocked at what he had to say. John Rentoul is chief political commentator of The Independent. John, another bizarre element of this deeply weird story. What do you think?
It was absolutely extraordinary. I mean, yeah, my jaw dropped too. Actually, I had a few minutes warning that Lindsay Hoyle was about to confess that he had shopped Peter Mandelson to the police, and I thought somebody was pulling my leg, but it turned out, I turned the television on, and there was Lindsay Hoyle in the chamber, just a few feet away from me, making that bizarre statement. And you know, it's high comedy, isn't it? Because the police, of course, got this tip off. They told Peter Mandelson about it, or at least they told his lawyers, and they got the source of the tip off wrong. They called it the Lord Speaker.
So they first of all shouldn't have told them what the source of it was.
Well, and you wouldn't expect them to. No,
yeah, well,
I mean,
I've had a policing guest earlier on this evening who says that is completely against procedure. Then they get it wrong as well, and then poor old Michael Forsyth, who's the Lord Speaker, who is actually the Speaker of the House of Lords, he then puts out a statement saying, nothing to do with me, Gov. Then this bizarre kind of another 12 hours, 14 hours before you get to Lindsay Hoyle saying, actually, it was me.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely bizarre, and also a very strange thing for Lindsay Hoyle to have passed on anyway. Because I mean, I don't know where he got it from. Maybe there was some truth in it, but
he says it was his duty to pass that on. That he received the intelligence or a piece of information, scrap of information, and he said it was his job to give it to the Metropolitan Police.
I just think the whole thing is very, very strange. And I don't really believe that the police had to arrest Peter Mandelson in order to stop him fleeing the country, and they could have just asked him to surrender his passport. I would have thought that would be completely
which I would imagine he would have done. Although I suppose the point is, the question you really have got to ask yourself is, who do you trust least? Is it the Metropolitan Police or Peter Mandelson? And neither of them have shown themselves to be sort of shining examples of truth-telling in the last little while, perhaps.
Yeah, possibly. Although, I mean, I've going back a long time, I've thought the police misuse their power of arrest. They often do it in political cases. You're probably too young to remember, Peter, but they arrested someone called Ruth Turner, who worked for Tony Blair, at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I do remember that, actually.
Because of the alleged cash for
Well, she was later cleared, wasn't she?
Of course she was, because there was that was an absurd case. It was all got up by the SNP, who put out a press release saying it was all very suspicious that some people were being nominated for peerages, and the police should have known better. That there was no way they could ever prove any wrongdoing in that case, and they should not have have gone around arresting people. I think it's a form of intimidation.
Do you think there's a sort of performative element to it where people say?
Of course there is. Yes,
Yeah.
I mean that's what it's all about. I mean we saw it with Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. I don't see why he had to be arrested. I mean, was he?
So, will you think they should
going
have
to
been
leg it to the British Virgin Islands or what?
Do you think these people, both Andrew and Peter Mandelson, should have been invited in for an interview, done under caution, that sort of thing?
Absolutely. I mean, and Peter Mandelson was invited in for an interview and had arranged an interview. They'd already searched his properties, so there was no need to arrest him in order to do that. And I'm sure the same would have applied to Andrew if the police wanted to search his properties. These high-profile arrests look to me like the police trying to impress people that they're doing a tough job, but I think it's completely unnecessary.
Where does all this leave Keir Starmer?
Well, in an awkward place, but what we don't know is what's in all the documents that Kemi Badenoch has forced the government to publish. And it could well be that there's some very embarrassing material in there for Keir Starmer. I mean, there is the suspicion that his Chief of Staff, Morgan McSweeney, and his Director of Communications, Tim Allen, left office because they knew that there was going to be embarrassing stuff coming out in communications between them and Peter Mandelson. We don't know if that's true. We will find out shortly, possibly. But clearly, it's all going to be very embarrassing for Keir Starmer. But the bottom line is that his party doesn't really want to get rid of him because the alternative is Angela Rayner.
Yeah, it's a very interesting point. And certainly when we look at the Gorton and Denton by-election tomorrow, without naming any of the candidates, otherwise I have to read them all out, John, and you know this very, very well, what are your thoughts on that? Because it does seem to me anyway, I was talking to a lot of people around Parliament today, that there doesn't seem to be any great consensus about who will win. It seems to be quite difficult to say, will it be the Greens, will it be Labour, less confidence about that, or will it be Reform UK? What's your instinct on this from what you've seen and heard?
Well, it's extreme. I mean, I think it's rather unusual to have a by-election like this, which is a genuine three-way unknown. Any of those three parties could win. I suspect the Greens will win, but I can't be confident about that at all. And whichever party wins is a very different result. I mean, if Labour wins, that would be a huge boost for Keir Starmer, because there's already a bit of a narrative developing about some good news on the economy, a sense that he's taken some really tough hits.
Do you think there are green shoots for Keir Starmer? Really? Do you honestly believe that?
Well, you could make the argument that his government's hit rock bottom and it's now
the only way is up.
People are starting to feel a little bit better off, and if that carries on, then I think this could be, and if Labour wins the by-election, then it could be looked back as a turning point.
I'm not sure I know really anybody who feels better off, but there we are. Thank you, John. Much appreciated. John Rentoul, Chief Political Commentator of The Independent. Maybe you're one